Ferrari has decided to act early. While many teams are still preparing their upgrade packages for Silverstone, Maranello has rushed to bring a crucial change to the Red Bull ring. A new floor, originally designed for the British Grand Prix, but now set to debut in Austria. This is the clearest sign yet that the Scuderia has no intention of letting this season slip away without a fight. But the real question is, will it be enough? After 10 race weekends, the results are disappointing. Charles Leclerc, who won in Austria back in 2022, has had to settle for a handful of podiums and far too many frustrations. Hamilton, who arrived with high expectations, has only seen success in the sprint races. For two drivers of this caliber, it's clearly a failure. Vasseur continues to defend the potential of the SF-25 with stubborn conviction, but the numbers speak for themselves. Ferrari has not progressed at the pace of McLaren or Mercedes. In an already tense atmosphere, the decision to introduce the new floor ahead of schedule represents one last card to play before the summer break. According to sources close to the team, the new spec aims to resolve chronic rear instability issues that have severely affected race performance. This is where Diego Tondi, head of aerodynamics, comes into play, working from scratch alongside Loic Serra to rebuild the aerodynamic foundations of the floor. Yet despite the effort, no one in Maranello is under any illusions. Even Vasseur has admitted that no miracles should be expected, as every improvement now counts for hundredths of a second, not tenths. It's a race against time. The development cycle of the 2025 car is nearing its end, and most of the resources have already been diverted to the 2026 project. Still, continuing to invest in this technical package is a move that reveals a degree of internal confidence, and a move that's making headlines. But there's one point everyone keeps avoiding. Ferrari waited too long to act. The rear suspension issues were evident as far back as winter testing, yet a real solution is only now being pursued. After a disastrous weekend in Canada, Hamilton made it clear. We need serious updates, not just words. This media pressure, also fueled by Leclerc, who openly stated that he's not satisfied with the direction the team has taken, prompted an immediate response. All updates originally planned for Silverstone will be brought forward. What's happening at Ferrari right now is a mix of technical desperation and wounded pride. The unspoken but clear objective is to avoid being humiliated during the second European stint of the season. The revised floor should expand the car's operating window and improve consistency between qualifying and the race, the real Achilles heel of the SF-25. So far, qualifying pace has been relatively strong, but it's been consistently undermined by questionable strategies, mid-grid starts, and poor traffic management. The situation becomes even worse when factoring in another key issue, the forced lift and coast. Ferrari drivers have had to repeatedly lift off the throttle to manage fuel consumption and hybrid system temperatures, a technically necessary choice, but one that has severely compromised any chance of attacking in the crucial phases of the race. Vasseur is well aware of this and stated it plainly. We can't afford to waste pace due to internal issues anymore. The hope is that the new updates will eliminate this constraint. Despite everything, Hamilton remains cautiously optimistic. I think Austria could surprise us, he said, hinting that the circuit might suit the car's high-speed configuration better. However, no one at Maranello is getting carried away. The real test will be Silverstone. If the updates truly deliver, Ferrari might at least salvage some dignity this season. Otherwise, the team will fully shift its focus to 2026, writing off 2025 as yet another failed chapter. And there's another factor that cannot be ignored: internal political tension. Poor performances have also brought Vasseur's position under scrutiny. The leadership, starting with Elkann, is dissatisfied. And even though nothing has been officially said, rumors suggest a possible ultimatum. Either tangible results arrive or a new technical direction is taken. An increasingly pressured Vasseur is now trying to strengthen his bond with Hamilton, using him as a bridge between on-track frustration and long-term strategy. But the real problem is not just technical, it's cultural. Ferrari continues to operate like a team that is always chasing, never accepting that modern Formula One demands deep structural changes. The teams currently dominating, like McLaren in recent weekends or Red Bull over the past 3 years, have had the courage to overturn concepts, restructure how they work, and make painful decisions. In Maranello, however, the approach has been limited to minor tweaks, while the gap to the front keeps growing. A clear example of this is the internal communication between drivers and engineers. Leclerc and Hamilton never seem to be on the same page. The Monegasque, often overly transparent, has repeatedly admitted that he doesn't see the current Ferrari team as capable of winning a title. The Brit, more cautious, but also more experienced, relies on optimism and speaks of adaptation as the key to unlocking potential. But the reality is that both are struggling with a car that has too many gray areas and too few certainties. The most critical issue lies in traction out of corners. The rear axle of the SF-25 is unstable, nervous, and at times unpredictable. This characteristic has severely impacted performance at circuits like Montreal, where Hamilton described the car as the slipperiest I've ever driven. From a 7-time world champion, that's a heavy accusation. This is why upgrades to the rear suspension are fundamental. Without a solution to this problem, everything else becomes irrelevant. Even within the technical team, tensions are rising. It's no coincidence that in recent months, rumors have surfaced about friction between Vasseur and some long-serving engineers. Pressure from Elkann and Vigne is constant, and the specter of yet another wasted season could have direct consequences on team leadership. Ferrari simply cannot afford to waste 2026 as well. The new regulations project must be solid, and that means learning and fast from today's mistakes. The direction seems clear. Use the Austrian and Silverstone Grand Prix as definitive test beds. If the upgrades work, continue with small developments through Monza. If not, close the chapter on the SF-25 and shift all energy toward what's next. The wind tunnel, already reconfigured for the new regulations, is concrete proof that Maranello is looking toward the future. But one big question remains. Is this Ferrari actually capable of course correction? Or will it keep swinging between promises and failures? Let's not forget there's also a massive media effort behind all this. The interviews from Hamilton and Leclerc, Vasseur's cautious language, even the carefully filtered release of information about the updates, all form part of a narrative built to keep fans and the public engaged. But the truth is in the numbers. And the numbers at the moment don't lie. Ferrari is the third best team, far behind Red Bull and even struggling against McLaren. If there is hope, it lies in the team's ability to learn on the go. The window between Austria and the summer break is extremely tight, but also absolutely critical. Wind tunnel testing, on-track data, the behavior of the new floor and the suspension, every element will be scrutinized. This is no longer just about performance, but about technical credibility and strategic vision. Because in a time when even Mercedes has rebuilt its identity, Ferrari can no longer afford another transitional year. And while the 2026 project does offer a glimmer of optimism, with new dimensions, a different aerodynamic philosophy, and a power unit focused on efficiency, there is also the real risk that this season will be forgotten too quickly, leaving behind nothing of concrete value. That is precisely what Vasseur is trying to avoid. To not leave 2025 without a technical legacy or any meaningful lessons learned. The feeling is that Austria represents much more than just another race. It's a crossroads. If Ferrari manages to show real signs of improvement, then the SF-25 project will still be worth pursuing through the end of the season. If not, the only viable word is reset. Now it's your turn. What do you think about the updates Ferrari has brought to Austria? Do you truly believe they can change the course of the season? Or is it already too late, and should Maranello's team focus solely on 2026? Let us know in the comments below. We're eager to hear your thoughts. And if you want to keep uncovering what's really happening behind the scenes in the paddock, click the video now appearing on your screen. See you there. Thanks for watching.